There seems to be something scary in my cereal bowl. Here's your spooky spot on the Funko Pop's General Mills Funko exclusives Count Chocula and Frankenberry. Your ad icon collection isn't complete without the cereal boxes themselves. Add the Funko exclusive Pop Count Chocula and Frankenberry cereal box to your lineup. I don't really know what's scarier, the mascots or the sugar content. Just before, of course, we get a closer look at the Funko cereal mascots, Count Chocula and Frankenberry, let's take first the ghoulish tape measure and see how tall these stand. Now, they're not quite going to be 4 inches. They're just a little less than that. They're about 3 3/4 inches in height, or both of them are going to be about 10 centimeters tall. Speaking of spooky mascots, maybe not relating to cereal, here's what Count Chocula and Frankenberry looks like along with the Spirit Halloween flocked version Trick or Treat Sam. Speaking also of cereals, we're being as well joined by the interdimensional Candle who enjoys cereal, and funny enough, ironically enough, his favorite cereal is Life. Looking at these individually, I did actually order these both online. There is also as well a Boo-Berry version of this character. I only, at the time of doing this review, only got my hands though on Count Chocula and Frankenberry. I don't know why I'm waving my, maybe I'm just so nervous that the candle is still staring at me. Can you at least look the, okay, forget about it. Both the characters look very much similar to one another in a sense that they are basically the cereal boxes, and then the bowls themselves basically are the faces for the characters. Now, the thing I really like about these is the fact that they are based on the original cereal boxes, and even though they have changed the look and the designs of the boxes over the years, I would say that this is probably the closest thing to the 80s cereal boxes when I was eating the cereal the most. Count Chocula, as you can see, though, is one that actually does have a little pitcher of milk. Frankenberry does not actually have that, and I think when we get Boo-Berry, which I still want to get my hands on, Boo-Berry is also very much similar to Frankenberry. It's just a pair of hands. So I kind of like right away that they're different from one another, that, well, don't spill that milk, whatever you do. You can see that at least he does have a little pitcher of milk. And I like the way that they've actually angled the milk like this. Looks like he's ready to pour off a bowl. Now, of course, on the front of the box, we got ourselves Count Chocula looking like he's about to devour a bowl of his own cereal. At the top corner, it does say Count Chocula. I guess the adjacent corner to that, it says General Mills, and it says chocolatey cereal plus marshmallow bits. The only thing that's a little underwhelming for me is the fact that everything that's going on that's interesting about this is only on the front. The moment you start to look at these from the sides, and especially on the back, there's nothing at all. I feel like at the very least, not that they was expecting, the nutritional facts, because you're never going to find them on any sugary cereals. But even if they had just put a suggested image on the side, even if it was blurry and you wouldn't be able to make out what those words would be, if they had only just put something decaled on the sides, and certainly on the back would have been, I think, a prime opportunity to put like little Easter eggs, references to things that you'd find inside, prizes, little board games. There would always be something interesting on the backs of the boxes. Why is it that we're only getting treated it to the front? I mean, obviously, when you're looking at these, when you're putting them on the shelf, the front thing is the only thing that you'd be really the most concerned with. But I just think it would be nice if they had put something on the backs of the boxes as well. These are fairly substantially durable, too. Funko Pops tend to also have some articulation. The thing, unfortunately, about these, though, is that there really isn't a head. The head is only really just the bowl of cereal, so you can't really rotate anything to it. You can't really move the arms. You can't move, of course, the feet. I mean, they're basically just staction blocks like this. Now, if you're looking at this and you're comparing it along with Frankenberry, very much similar sort of things are going on here, except they have sculpted the hands completely different. They have painted on. Did you know Frankenberry had little strawberry fingernails? Did you know that? Now you know that. Of course, the feet are very much different from one another, too. Count Chocula sticks to browns. So, like, he's got brown sleeves, even like slightly lighter brown gloves or hands. He also has spats on his shoes. Frankenberry doesn't do anything like that. He's got basically like pink leggings. And he's also got himself like big red boots, big clunky boots. Now, with both, again, these, that they look like the 80s cereal boxes right away. I think that was probably the thing that kind of hooked me in on wanting to pick these up. With this channel, I'm not really one that pushes Funko Pops all that much. I have to be really interested in a Funko Pop. I can't just willy-nilly go to a store and pick these up, which, again, by the way, these were Funko exclusives. I actually picked these up, I think, from Retro Festive. Seems to be like my go-to place every year when I want to get myself like Halloween or Christmas-themed things. Of course, with Frankenberry, just putting down Count Chocula here for a second, Frankenberry is again devouring his own bowl of cereal. With his marshmallow bits, they were supposed to, I guess, be Frankenstein heads. Count Chocula was probably easier to spot what those things were supposed to be. They were supposed to be bats. But Frankenberry, of course, the cereal was always underwhelming. I mean, let's face facts. As a kid, we always sort of just picked out the marshmallows, and then we were sort of stuck with this bland old cereal. The bland cereal also for Frankenberry was also known for one thing as a kid, and if you ate the cereal yourself, you would know exactly what that was. It would basically turn, when you went to the washroom, it would change certain things, certain colors. Again, there's a lot more going on in the front. I guess one thing that's kind of neat is the fact they did take the little flaps. They put the flaps on the tops of the cereal. But come on, Funko, you needed to do a little bit more on the sides to sell this for me. Not as if I already wasn't sold by these. Just adding a little bit of detail on the sides I think could have gone a long way. And hey, why not? Why do we have to see a big blank basic box on the back? They really need to add some extra things on there as well. Now, again, I'd like to get my hands also on Boo Berry. Really, to be fair, I really did want to get my hands on Boo Berry prior to hitting record, so at least I could have looked at the trilogy of cereal mascots from the spooky season. But alas, I couldn't get my hands on Boo Berry. I think Boo Berry goes online, I want to say, for about $20. So he isn't going to break the bank at all. Boo Berry, I also feel, was also given a cereal mascot on his own. I don't think the same could be said for Count Chocula and Frankenberry. But for me, ideally, the thing that really, again, lured me into wanting to get these, for somebody that never really likes to collect Funko Pops, is the appeal, the charm, that these look like the old cereal 80s mascot boxes. Of course, having the arms, of course, on the sides, and adding then the pupils, those familiar dots of black on the front for their eyes. Adding that to the bowls, I think, was really the neat touch. Are they the most, they're a little underwhelming in the sense that they don't have any posability. I guess it would really be the hardest thing. I guess they probably could have put something on the legs where you'd be able to kind of rotate the cereal boxes. But, again, for what they are, something that I probably will only put out during the Hallows season, I think they're kind of fun. And I'm glad that I actually got the chance to pick these up. Foolish of me to make the assumption that Funko never went further down the rabbit hole when it came to milking the cereal mascots during the spooky season. Of course they did. Funko's all about that. It dawned on me as I was wrapping up this review. Of course, they did outside the realm of doing, of course, the cereal mascots literally as cereal boxes as seen in this spooky video. They, of course, did do the Boo Berry. I would have liked to have gotten my hands on the Boo Berry, so at least I could have looked at the 3 of the cereal mascots I had as a kid. Of course, outside of that, Funko did release Funko Pops of Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Boo Berry. They released as well Funko Blocks, which I don't think they make blocks much anymore. They did basically think of it as a Funko Pop that's been run over by a car, completely flat. Years ago here during the Spooky Spot season, we looked at Frankenberry, Boo Berry, and Count Chocula in those. And as well, some of my favorite things are the Funko Vinyl. That's VYNL, which looked to me more like Rankin Bass characters from cartoons. They did release a 2-pack of Count Chocula and Frankenberry. They also released the much more rare Fruity Yummy Mummy and Fruit Brutes. Love to get my hands on those. I know that will set me back a pretty penny, but rest assured, sooner rather than later, I'll be getting my hands on those 2-packs of vinyl. Nostalgia overload when it comes to cereal mascots during October. I never really liked Count Chocula as a kid. I still don't like Count Chocula as an adult. Chocolate cereal was never a big thing for me. I certainly did like, though, Boo Berry. Boo Berry for the times that I had as a kid. Maybe I was lucky enough to have it once or twice over 2 years. And then after that, Boo Berry, strangely here in Canada, just seemed to disappear. Usually my go-to then was always Frankenberry. Yes, it was always a horrific sight to go use the bathroom as a kid later on, but Frankenberry was always it for me. We never were lucky enough to have Fruity Yummy Mummy, Fruit Brute, or any of those characters after the fact. It was always really just Count Chocula and Frankenberry that were the ones that were on the cereal aisles. Certainly, as a video question for you guys is, what was your favorite cereal mascot during Halloween? Was it Frankenberry? Was it Count Chocula? Or maybe some of the latter characters, Fruity Yummy Mummy, Fruit Brute? There's even a newer character, can't remember her name. She's now starting to show up. Actually, all the cereals have showed up now here in Walmarts in Canada. I'm very tempted to kind of start picking up some of these, but I know the cereal isn't really the greatest. It's full of sugar and all the other scary things. Let me know down below in the comment section what your favorite cereal mascot was for Halloween, and if you've lucky enough been picking up any of these cereal mascots. Also, as well, if you guys did enjoy this video, do a solid, throw it a like. You guys want to stick around for more so? I hope so. Even though we are wrapping up things right now for General Mills, there will be more spooky videos coming your way during the month of Spottober. So hit the subscribe, turn on that bell, and keep your ghoulish peepers peeled to this channel. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.